I have encountered the Lord several times in my life and I have seen His wonders in so many ways, but I have always kept them to myself. However, I can no longer keep quiet about my experiences. People need to hear my testimony to know that God is indeed real and powerful. I worked in the city for several years. After gathering enough money, I decided to go to my village to buy a piece of land. I took public transport and I was the last person who joined the bus before it set off. On our way to the village, the bus had a terrible accident. I was the only one who survived. I was asleep in the bus, but when I opened my eyes, I was lying on the floor. I was shocked to see that they had removed all the dead bodies from the bus and packed them at one side of the road. I saw a child of about 2 years in a nearby bush, so I quickly rushed to pick him up. As soon as I put the child down, I collapsed on the floor and went into a coma. The child also survived the accident. 3 days after, I was in the mortuary when I saw my soul coming out of my body. My soul was just standing by my body. After this whole incident, I later saw the coffin my friends bought for me. They had hired some canopies and had made plans for my funeral and wake-keeping services. I have a lot of marks on my body due to the gory accident. A piece of glass is stuck in my hand, but the doctors say it's best not to remove it because if they do, they will cut my veins and my hand will go numb. I lost almost all my teeth, even my shoulder got separated from the collarbone, so up till now, if I raise my hand and I don't do it carefully, my shoulder gets dislocated and I have to fix it back into my collarbone. When I saw my soul standing there, I suddenly saw an angel of the Lord. He opened the mortuary gate for me. When I stepped out, I saw a big gate in front of me and a town behind the gate. When I approached the huge gate, it opened for me. Then I saw an angel in pure white clothes on one side and then a woman in multicolored clothes. I thought she looked like an angel. She was standing on the other side. I walked towards the other side of the gate where the male angel was standing. Then he screamed at me, "Go back. You are stubborn. You are not supposed to be here. We tried to stop you, but you still want to come here." The woman on my left side says to me, "Come and pass this other side, if he won't allow you to go." But the man said to me, "Go back to where you are coming from. If you come here again, I will whip you with this cane." When he stretched forth his hand, I saw a huge cane. I was very scared, so I walked back to the huge gate. It opened for me and I left the place and got back into the mortuary. The man who told me to leave that place followed me back to the mortuary. He asked me to sit down inside my body and said to me that I should be careful so I don't come back to that place. He then hit the crown of my head with his hands, before my soul went back into my body, and I sat upright. I was completely naked, so the angel said to me, "Look over there, you can see some clothes which belong to some of these lifeless men in the mortuary. Pick some clothes and put them on." After I wore the clothes, the mortuary gate was shut, but the angel touched it, and it opened for me. I saw the mortuary attendant outside on the compound. He said to me, "Hey, how come you are awake and leaving this place?" I did not even reply him. At that point, I could not speak even though I could hear clearly if someone spoke to me. I could only respond deep within me, but no one could hear me except the man I was with. I was communicating with this angel with my thoughts, and he spoke to me, clearly, but no one around me could hear him speak. This man held my hands and took me to see a doctor. We also spoke about my family, and he went to my family house to inform them about my situation, and they brought them to see me, physically. This man was a brown-skinned man, not too dark or fair. He was tall but not too tall. He left the hospital when my family was by side, but he returned the next day with an angel. This bright angel never left my side. He was with me throughout my stay at the hospital day and night. I was in the hospital for 6 months and 3 weeks. My records are at the hospital, and I have so many people who are always eager to testify about this incident because they thought I was already dead. So, when they saw me physically, they all began to run away. They were already preparing for my funeral. It was hard for those who knew me to come close to me. They had to touch my body with various objects to confirm that I was really alive. The angel who stayed by my side for 6 months and 3 weeks looked very young, like a child of 12 years. I told him whatever I wanted, and he helped me. Sometimes the angel saw that the drugs prescribed for me were not good for me, so he will quickly exchange the bad drugs with good ones to be administered to me. He did not allow them to give me any bad medicines.